Hello everybody. This is Chase Petiche. I'm here with Oracle Podcast. This is episode 17. Wow. We're getting up there. We're doing it. We're just doing this. I wanted to make an early podcast this week and release it so that we could talk about this full moon on Scorpio that is tomorrow. It's a full moon, as I said, in Scorpio. I was looking at the chart and I was gathering some information and I wanted to talk about some of the aspects and get into it a little bit. First of all, I just want to see how everybody's doing out there. I'm recording this on Saturday, so May 10th. It's getting warm here in Joshua Tree. It's been in the 90s today. I've just been hanging out with my horse, my Appaloosa, big boy. I'm calling him Spirit, and he's at my friend Ren's property, and we're working on the integration of him with the other ladies, the mares. He just got here on Friday, so it's been, we're just working on it. We're working on everything. Or did he, yeah, Friday. It's a process. It's pretty wild having a horse. It's pretty cool. I'm like, kind of learning, I don't know, man. I'm learning about a lot of deeper energies, about sentient beings and how they communicate. And it's interesting because I've just been hanging around him, just trying to get to know him energetically. And something I've noticed is how calm I feel. Like when I get home, I feel like I went to the beach or something. I'm like, my nervous system is like chilled out and I have so much energy. Like, yeah, I feel like it fills my cup up, which is wild. Like I've been in the sun all day and stuff. And usually when I'm in the sun, I'm like really tired and and I don't feel that way. I just feel like really, I don't know. It's interesting. It's going to be a wild journey doing this work. I've done my life, but I wrote my master's thesis on rewilding. I have a master's degree in sustainable communities with an emphasis in consciousness and social change. And I wrote my master's thesis on rewilding, which blah, 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 fuck school. Honestly, that's kind of how I feel. I mean, when I was in school, I was like, I hate this. I actually wrote my whole master's thesis on how horrible school is for like human creativity and how it domesticates the soul. That was like what my whole master's thesis was on. So I did all these processes. It was like the whole process was like I hate this whole thing. It's like dumbing down everything I know, which is real, which is intuition and deep feeling and the wild. And instead I'm getting indoctrinated into all this knowledge, which knowledge is great. Knowledge, yes, knowledge to a certain extent is power. But I believe in this era, we are just over knowledged out. Like Mercury, we're way too rational based. And it was just like, it's exhausting when you're just constantly in the rational and you're not like tapping into the spirit. And it was so ironic because in my program, everybody was there. Everybody was like hippies. And like, we thought it was going to be like, I started the herbal, group of what was like the activist group with like herbal medicine and stuff. And it was like native based. It was in Flagstaff. It's like, and like the competition and the like egos and the like bullshit that I had to deal with in grad school and the patriarchy and the just everything. I was just like, this is the most unembodied bullshit. Like the stuff we were studying was all about like non-hierarchies, yet everybody's like climbing their way to the top and wants to be the best and da-da-da-da-da. It was just all BS and it really made me mad. And, but I finished things. I tend to finish things when, it almost killed me, but I did it. But it was funny because I guess I found it's what, sometimes you have to push yourself to those edges to find out who you really are, because that work was kind of the cornerstone of a lot of my other work, which really led to the rewilding piece. My teacher, my professor, who is now my dear friend of mine, Janine Skipper, she was like, you should do your thesis on rewilding because that's who you are. And I was like, yes, that is what I am. And that is what I want to do. And then it's kind of led me to where I am now. And here I am kind of getting a horse, which just feels very, very, very right in terms of just like the work I've committed to doing in my life, which is really about reconnecting to the wild, which is your intuition, and the feminine virtue of imagination and energy, and recalibrating that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just going with this flow. Just going with the flow. And, this full moon is kind of like, I was kind of digging into it a little bit, and I was like, oh, there's some stuff here. There's definitely some stuff on this full moon. And I'm like wondering how it's showing up for you guys, because, so it's a full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio energy is, it's Scorpios are intense. Scorpios get a bad rap. They're known to be, deep, intense, moody, brooding, which is true. Every Scorpio I've ever known is, and anybody with Scorpio placements is. But they're also, the thing I love about Scorpios is that they can go to the depths. And those are like the people that I love, or the people that really can visit the shadows. And, at its core, Scorpio is very much about truth. It's about uncovering the deeper layers behind things. It's about kind of like X-ray vision. It's ruled by Pluto, which is, the Lord of transformation. And, it's kind of about really getting to the core of something, to the essence of something, to really, so that then it can kind of be bare. It's about bringing light to the shadows. A lot of times through that process, Scorpios feel very deeply. They're a fixed water sign. And, if you have a Scorpio moon, it's tough. It can be a tough placement. It's like you really feel things very deeply and all the subtle energetics of things. It also has, there's dynamics with power. Scorpios there's like, there can be power dynamics within Scorpio energy, and, it's ruled by Pluto, and, it's very able to use the energy of emotion to manipulate. It's the whole thing though is that because Scorpio can see, it's totem, kind of totem, like some of the totem animals of Scorpio would be an owl, really seeing through X-ray vision, seeing to the depths of things. That's what owl medicine is. Snake, regeneration, transformation. It's ruled also by the scorpion, which is, the scorpion is, if you mess with it, it'll bite you, it'll sting you. And, Scorpios can be real mean. They can. I have my Saturn in Scorpio, and it's at 0 degrees, so it's my life lesson. Whatever your Saturn is in, it's your life lesson. And and then I have my Saturn conjunct Pluto, so it's double whammy on that energy around karma, around death and rebirth, karma around and life lesson, life learning around emotional mastery, around the art of letting go, because that's really the foundational energy of Scorpio. It's ruled by Pluto, the Lord of the underworld. Scorpios, they're magnetic. They don't reveal a lot. And it's interesting because my Saturn's in Scorpio. I've really started to understand what adopting scorpionic, I used to really reveal a lot more. I used to be somebody I have so much Sag, and Sag is just talk, 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 talk. And I have Aries and are blunt. And I've really learned as I've gotten older, how important it is to not reveal everything, especially when you're creating things. And I've started to understand how it can leak power, where you can really leak power that way. And then also really having, really strong discernment with who you share things with, because of the projection. That's very Scorpio. But, with a full moon in Scorpio, what we're working with here is we're working with illuminating kind of deep things that maybe have been hidden. There's an illumination of deep undertones, deep energetics of shadows. There's also themes around power and reclaiming one's power. What's interesting is that, so this full moon it's in the sign of Scorpio. I mean, I remember one of the last full moons I had in Scorpio. And when I came to the desert, and there was a full moon in Scorpio, and I like locked eyes with this owl. The owl was talking to me, and like my cat disappeared, and I knew my cat was dead. It was like that, Scorpio rules death, but it also rules rebirth. And everybody in our culture, we're so afraid of death, right? But death is life. It's part of the spiral. It's the art of letting go. It's this moving in accordance with nature and being in alignment, being in our integrity. And the more we're able to kind of break free and let go, the more we're able to be in tune with, that's really when we're in our most empowered state, I would say. When you're really allowing yourself to let go of what is no longer aligning with your frequency, you have to have levels of deep faith so that you can like hold that frequency of knowing that you're in alignment and that the universe is guiding and taking care of you. Because so many of us, we're so afraid of letting go because we're like, what's on the other side? I'm going to lose everything. The void, emptiness. These are all themes of Scorpio. But on the flip side of all of that is when you kind of get to the core, you visit the shadow, you illuminate the darkness, you release. It's really about releasing. And also, it's also about, it's the year of the snake. And the serpent is definitely one of the totems of Scorpio as well, for sure. So, what are you releasing? This is a great question right now because, full moons tend to be the energy of release, but then Scorpio on top of it is like extra added release energy. So I would just ask yourself about that. Like, what are you in the process of letting go of? So, it could be a way of being. I mean, I've been seeing so much 555 energy. It's crazy because I went through this whole 555 cycle, like, I don't know, a month or two ago. It was like every day, 555, everywhere, 555. And 5 is the number of change. It's really when you kind of, it's like 1 through 5, you're in one category, 5 through 10, you're in another category. Just like really like the bridge between moving from one frequency to the other frequency. And it can be really destabilizing. It's also like, to me, it's really exciting. I mean, 5 to me really does represent the spiral. It's like, oh yeah, I'm riding this wave. I'm like moving, grooving. I'm riding this shit. So, I feel like we're in another 5 cycle right now. And I mean, I think maybe that's just kind of the energy of the year of the snake. And then we have the Scorpio full moon on top of it. So like, I don't know. I would say dive in, guys. There's no point in resisting it. There's no point in resisting or fighting the flow. Just dive in. And honestly, when you dive in, there's like deep release because you're like accessing truth. And like the deeper part of ourselves, our shadow, all of it, it's like desperate to be looked at and accessed and seen. And that's when we heal, when we're able to like be truthful with ourselves and really tune into our intuition and allow ourselves to see things. But also, just this 555 energy, what frequency are you moving out of? What paradigm are you moving out of? What are you shedding? What are you releasing? And what are you stepping into? So let's talk about the other piece of this full moon. So, every full moon is opposing the sun. So the sun is in it's in Taurus, right? 22 degrees, which we're going to talk about that as well because this is a significant number. And the sun is conjunct, blending with the energy of Uranus on this full moon. So, okay, let's get into that. So Uranus has been in, I believe it first went into Taurus in 2017. It takes a while. It takes like 8 years for it to go through each sign. It takes 82 years to go around the entire zodiac. So it's basically like our entire lifespan. Uranus will be somewhere, but it never hits the same point twice. And Uranus, we really are in a Uranian kind of activation period, I would say, with the dawning of the age of Aquarius, because Aquarian energy is ruled by the planet Uranus. And I mean, just even the name Uranus, I mean, who named it that? It's Greek. I mean, does the word anus come from the word Uranus? I mean, some people say Uranus, some people say Uranus. You can say whatever you want. I mean, we could go into the symbolism of that too. Everything means something. You know what I mean? But the energy of Uranus is it's electricity. It rules electricity. It rules current. It rules. I always kind of think it's like a lightning bolt. It's kind of like the Tower card of the tarot. It kind of comes in and shocks and opens things up. It radically alters structures. It breaks things free, breaks things loose. It's a planet of rebellion, awakening, grand shifts, grand change, upgrades, authenticity. And kind of resonance, frequency. So when you're Uranus and Taurus since 2017, I mean, that's when Donald Trump first got elected. It's also when the U.S. went through a stock market exchange collapse, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't care about world events, but the reason why I'm bringing that up is because Uranian energy in Taurus, it destabilizes. Taurus is very fixed. It's very earthy. It's very immovable. It's very sensual. It's very grounded. It doesn't like to be bothered. It doesn't like to be shaken awake. It doesn't like to move if it doesn't want to. It's very stubborn. It can be really slow. So Uranus and Taurus, they do not really get along. So that's kind of since 2017, we've seen a massive, Mother Earth, Uranus and Taurus is what I think is because Tauran energy has a lot to do with the Mother Earth, but also the divine feminine. It's ruled by Venus. And, to me, it feels I don't know. I just feel like Mama Earth is really kind of speaking to us and through us. And it's kind of an activation of the feminine within us all, especially around the virtues of receptivity and pleasure, which Taurus rules, and allowing and being in tune and being in flow and, so Sun conjunct Uranus is really opposing the moon on this full moon. There could be shocking revelations that happen. There could be just a coming to your senses kind of an energy. Taurus also has a lot to do with self-worth. And I think that's kind of a lot of us are kind of going through that right now. I mean, I have so many coaching clients that are just whatever I'm doing isn't working and I need a shift, and I think this full moon, it's Scorpio energy is watery. It's deep. It's still waters run deep. It's going very deep and Uranian energy is activating. So it could be activating, these still waters and bringing things to the surface that were, already coming to the surface, but maybe even more. It's, there's deep rebellion. There's deep insight. There could be shock. I mean, now is a time to really kind of man, I feel like I say the same thing every week, but geez, it's the truth. It's just what's going on, it's I'm really trying to think about what this going on. Cause I can feel there's definitely a shift in the energy lately. And I can feel that I'm being asked to up level, in new ways. So the other piece of all of this is that the sun and the moon on this full moon are going to be exact at 22 degrees. Now, 22 is a number I've been working with this year. And, it's the double It's like 11 times 2. I was born at 11/11, and my north node's at 22 degrees, and I've thought a lot. And then I was having all these synchronicities this year with 22, like intense synchronicities with the number 22. And I finally decided to go into it. And I was like, what the fuck does this mean? And 22 has a lot to do with, it's a master builder number. So 11 has to do with a visionary energy. It has to do with like the master teacher. 22 has to do with master builder. So it's something that bridges spirit and structure, and it integrates high level vision to make things real. Oh, there might be real powerful insight on this full moon around new things that need to be created or structures that need to be made real. Sacred leadership. And 22 is the builder of temples. So, in service of humanity in this collective new earth that we are birthing right now together, you guys. So like, I'm doing it. Are you doing it? Because now's the time to do it. Get people together, get shit together, like make connections, like do the thing you want to do. Like if you have an idea, do it. Like just fucking move your butt and make shit happen, because it's now is the time. And we're going to be keeping looking at the people that are building the new earth. And then if we have any critiques of that, we have to be the ones to build it, because otherwise other people will. And really the people who are the mystics and the people who are into astrology and the people that are really doing the self work and the people that are doing the shadow work and the people that are really, really digging deep, we're the ones that are meant to bring the vision to earth. It's time for the mystics to rise, the empaths, the sensitive ones, and build new systems that are in alignment, that are sensitive to the spirit and nature, and that are in tune with that. And so that's part of why it's this year of the snake is part of the year of the priestess, and the priestess within us all that is rising, that energy of really allowing intuition to lead and kind of forming your life around that, using your rationality to shape around your intuition. So yeah, I just think this could be a full moon with some revelatory information, and illumination, and like, let it rad, let it go, let it, I don't know, feel it, The other thing we have on this full moon is we've got Lilith opposing Mercury, almost exact, and it's square. So it's in a T square. So Lilith is squaring Pluto, and then Pluto's squaring Mercury, and it's in a T square. So, yeah, I mean, Lilith and Pluto have been like a tight T square lately, and square. So Lilith, remember, is the untamed elemental feminine, the part of all of us that is not submitting, that is breaking out of old structures, that refuses to participate, that's wild, that's free, that refuses to conform, and sexual, primal, free, in tune with herself, in tune with nature. So there's energy around there's a tension aspect that is in that's between Pluto, the Lord of transformation, and Mercury, how we communicate, and it's releasing itself in Leo. So yeah, I mean, this is a buildup of some kind of tension around these energies. Examine that. Examine that. What else we got going here? Saturn is about to move into Aries. And, remember that? Like, I've been talking a lot about, we were in this Pisces portal, and Like all these planets were in Pisces and the veil was super thin. It was like kind of, it's been going on for a few months, but we're kind of moving out of that portal and we're moving into Aries energy. And, Saturn's at 28 degrees. Aries is very soon is going to be Saturn's at 28 degrees Pisces. It's very soon going to be in Aries, which is, right now it's Neptune's in Aries, Venus is in Aries, Chiron's in Aries. Soon Saturn will be in Aries. So Aries is initiatory. Aries is moving energy forward. Aries is starting things. So currently Neptune is in Aries. And, with that Uranian energy, with that sun and this moon bringing all this deep emotional shit to the surface, and there's like hidden energetics, hidden desires. And then we have Neptune, Neptune's really giving vision to action. It's giving vision to, it's helping us act on our visions. And I think that that's absolutely true. I mean, I've had a fire that's just been lit under my ass to move energy forward. And I almost think it's this Neptune energy, and I'm kind of stoked about it because that's kind of what we need in these times. It's just let's just go, let's just move it forward. There's no point in hesitating. And the thing that we got to do to do all that is we have to have a very grounded spiritual practice. So this is something that I teach. This is something, I have a book I wrote called Witchy Bitch. I'm currently writing another book on establishing energetic boundaries. But when we want to move this quickly in order to build the new earth as the empaths, a lot of empaths, mystics have abandoned religion, but they haven't necessarily replaced it with something deep enough and foundational enough to feel deeply supported. And so that's what I help teach people to do, because you've got to have a deep connection to source to make these changes at the level. But basically what that means is you have to create a space inside of you that is dedicated to faith in God, the divine source, universe, and hold that frequency steady inside of yourself. Because faith is energy work. Faith is, you can call it belief, knowing, creation. Faith is how we create our reality. We hold the vision, we hold the frequency, we hold that stability. That one of my favorite books, Spiritual Economics. I always talk about this because it's this idea, and this applies to this full moon too. It's in Hebrew, the word worth translates to the word security, and I always think about that because Taurus has a lot to do with self-worth. We have this Uranian conjunct Sun energy in Taurus highlighting on this full moon, and it's very hard to have self-worth without a deep internal core of stability and security. And security requires energetic boundaries. Security requires stability. Stability. So start paying attention to what takes you off your center, and then also start doing deep spiritual work to get yourself into a groove where you start uplifting your frequency and believing in something and believing in a connection, a source connection to spirit. One of the foundational things that I always teach is that you need to have an altar. It's imperative that you have an altar. I sit at my altar every day, even if it's only for however long, but I usually sit at it for at least a half hour every morning. And then lately I've been sitting at it at night too. And lately, you got to have some divination sources. You got to have some stuff you burn. You got to have a candle. You got to get witchy. You got to have some cards. You got to do the stuff. You know what I mean? Lately, I've really been going deep with runes. I love runes so much. Runes are so potent. Oh my God, they're so potent. But, divination sources, astrology is a divination source. It's just a way to contact the numinous, to contact spirit, to work with that energy, to align with the greater flow, with the spiral, with the energetic spiral of potentiality that's working through you so that you can ride the wave. So, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to talk about on this full moon. We still have, not really. Thank God. The Pluto Mars opposition is like waning. Thank God. We were all feeling that. It was so gnarly. So gnarly. Yeah, we're moving out of Pisces energy. We're moving into Aries energy, guys. So, Pisces is very watery. It's very psychic. It's very connected. It's very third eye. It's very dreamy. But Aries is like action. Aries is like, let's move our butts. That's what I'm feeling. So, yeah. I think that's all I have to share this week. Happy full moon, everybody. Remember that this is a powerful moon of awakening, shadow revelation, and inspiration. I would say it's a master builder energy. So what are you building? What's in your soul that wants to be built? It's time for all of our creative juices to start flowing here. Let them out. Connect with source. Find the way to make it happen. You can do it. Make it happen. Okay? I love you guys. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.